Rossnowla certainly provided one of the most scenic locations. Over 50 lodges, including those visiting from Cavan, Leitrim and Monaghan, joined Donegal brethren last Saturday to take part in the Republic of Ireland's only orange demonstration. The Donegal parade has been taking place since the 1900s and has been hosted annually at this seaside location since 1978. An array of musical talent was on display in the warm sunshine, watched by some who will remember the day and others perhaps not. People of all ages paraded today. One man, Johnston Mulligan from Beragh in County Tyrone, joined Lodge 796 as he has done so without fail for the past 73 years. This former worshipful master, he's 90 years old, spoke with Claire McCollum about his memories of years gone by.
This year, the West Tyrone demonstration is in Beragh. LOL 796 was established in 1823. Its longest-serving member and former worshipful master is Johnston Mulligan.
A few memories here.
Yes, a few memories
A few memories, one or two.
A few memories, all right. Well, I joined the Orange Order in 1944.
A few years ago.
A good few years ago, getting on for 73 years ago.
Goodness.
And that's quite a long stint, you might think.
So take me back to when you first joined the Orange Order.
Well, I joined the Orange Order because it was the tradition in the family and in the local boys, all the local boys who were around about my age at that time, were joining in one of the local lodges. At that time too, I was approached about the band. Some of them said to me, there's a band being reformed here after the war years because the band that played in 1939 and now it's 1944, and some of them are getting old and doesn't want to play in it any longer, like playing the pipes or the drums or like that. Would you consider joining? And I said I would like to join. And we all got together and we trained for a year and a half about before we were allowed out on the road to pipe.
And there's a lovely, lovely picture of you here in the pipe band, Johnston.
And that's a picture of me, certainly, in
This
the
is you
pipe band
here.
on the right-hand side here. But remember, that's a long time after we started playing.
And is the pipe band still going today?
It's not, unfortunately. It's a lot of pipe bands got very difficult after a period of time to keep them all running, as I said before. The old pipe band stopped after the war years. So the pipe band I stayed in for the length of time that I've told you, 73 years.
The 12th of July itself, the main day, how important is that date in your calendar throughout the year?
Well, the 12th of July is a very important date in our Orange calendar. It was a day that we all look forward to and practiced with enthusiasm to make ourselves reasonably presentable on the day.
And it's still a very special day
It's
for
a
you.
special day, certainly, a very special day on the 12th.
And have you ever missed a 12th of July?
No, thank goodness I've never missed the 12th of July. Thank God for that.
And you still walk?
I still walk, yes.
Well, Johnston, it's been lovely chatting to you.
Oh, well.
And I hope you have a great day
Well,
this year.
I hope that you enjoyed talking to me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Some wonderful memories indeed. Now we're going to go back to see some more of the pageantry and hear some of the sounds from the main Belfast parade on Bedford Street with Walter Love and Dr. David Hume.
And wherever you watch the parade today, the sound of drums never far from your ears. Quite impressive.
Yeah, and some quite large bands here in terms of the parade. Quite a lot of Scottish bands, as you said earlier, Walter, as well, have passed us by.
And again, the military-style uniforms.
Yes, well, Omagh Protestant Boys are coming along now, and fantastic military-style uniform, very, very large band, and very good musicians.
With the pith helmets, which probably are very appropriate on a sunny morning like this.
Come into their own today at last.
And I imagine that while for those who are marching in the lodges behind the bands here, that's a challenge in some ways. I imagine doing the march, doing the parade and playing an instrument is even more of a challenge.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why it's mainly flute bands that you'll find in Belfast, if not entirely flute bands, because other bands would be heavier instruments, accordions and silver bands, so one just couldn't manage to do such a long processional route.
We noticed the cars and the minibuses from time to time because there would be quite a few of the more senior members of lodges for whom the walk would be too much of a challenge, perhaps.
Yes, absolutely, and maybe during the walk they'll retire to the buses if they start off with the lodge, but it's a big thing to actually be in the parade on the minibus or on the bus. For a lot of these, certainly veteran and elderly members that still want to take part in the 12th, so that's why you see quite a few vehicles going behind each lodge usually.
And again, a lot of colour here, a lot of spectacle. Again, those marvellous military bands, and then a lot of colour in the parade. A lot of colour to watch. Here we have another band.
Yes, there's a great variety of uniforms and different colourful uniforms, and you can see some fantastic colours today, and of course the sunshine helps to make it much more appealing than it would on a rainy day.
And I think actually one of the things that one bears in mind is that running a band today is very expensive in terms of uniforms and in terms of instruments as well.
Yes, absolutely. In terms of some of the bands, an accordion band, I was told the other day a really top quality accordion could cost about £12,000 for some of these bands. And silver instruments, the same as well, can be several £1,000s. So a lot of fundraising has to go on by the bands to maintain themselves.
And a lot of trainee drum majors too.
Yes, that's always very important.
And learning the skills and managing it very, very well.
Well, there are over 600 marching bands within the Protestant community in Northern Ireland, and there's a lot of free band tuition every week carried out, because these bands will practice very, very regularly, and they'll have their weekly parades as well sometimes.
Sandy Row, district number 5, is one of the biggest districts. To prove that point, we're still with them, coming towards the end of District 5. And I think we mentioned Scottish visitors, but there are English visitors as well, David.
Yes, there's a lodge went past us from Leeds there. I saw their banneret, Battle of Britain banneret, and mostly a lot of Scottish members and bands here, but there's other, certainly a lot of members from different parts of the world, and say there's the Leeds Lodge is obviously not taking part in the only English parade which takes part on the 12th, which is the Southport parade. It's happening today as well.
Donegal Castle there on the banner of one of the lodges.
Yes, that's Loyal Sons of County Donegal, and it was formed by men originally from Donegal who came to Belfast to find work in the city. When
we look at many of the visitors who are here, there have been some fairly famous Orangemen over the years. One surprises me a little bit, that's Dr. Bernardo.
Yes, Thomas Bernardo was from a Dublin family and was a very evangelical family, and he was associated with the Orange Institution, and of course did a lot of good work in London for orphans and street children. And he bought a public house in London and turned it into a temperance cafe called the Edinburgh Castle, and there was an Orange Lodge at one time based there. After he died, there was a banner in London with his portrait on it in 1905. So he's one of a number of quite famous figures across the world who were Orange men. The first Prime Minister of Canada, John A. Macdonald, was another member of the Orange Institution, and of course Canadian Orangism was very, very strong, certainly in the early years of the 1900s.
Well, there was a very famous Ulsterman, everybody knows his name, Harry Ferguson. Now,
Yes.
he wasn't our Orangeman, but there's an interesting Orange connection.
Well, as far as we can understand, Harry Ferguson never was a member of the Orange Institution, but there were 2 Orange lodges near where he lived, and apparently he had a tradition on the morning of the 12th. He would walk along with one of the lodges until it got to its point to head off wherever it was going, and then the second lodge he would walk back home with it when it would arrive, but he never actually belonged to the Orange Institution as far as we're aware, so he was a bit of a wannabe Orange man perhaps.
The Lispa district welcomed visiting lodges from Donegal, Cavan, Monaghan and Leitrim. So let's head back to County Fermanagh and join Darrell Grimison and Dr Gavin Hughes to bring us more colour as the bands parade through the village.
An absolutely picture postcard perfect in Lispa, isn't it?
It is, and the district leading the parade here is District number 9. Ardas accordion pipe band.
And the importance of the bands to the Orange Order, they are really, really part of the pageantry, aren't they?
Very much so. I mean, the social structure of the bands as well as the music they provide, it's all part and parcel of the 12th.
Yeah, I saw Castle Archdale going through there
Yes.
as well. You know, Castle Archdale, very famous historical place for during the Second World War.
Finding the Bismarck.
All of
That's
that.
right. And Kesh actually has apparently the only orange arch left in Fermanagh. Which is
Really?
what? Apparently so. Which was brought over from Larne.
Excellent. And we're now beginning to appreciate the cacophony
Yes.
of bands as they go through. That's absolutely part and parcel of the 12th, isn't it?
It is, and there's, I say, Ardes accordion passing us there, and it's all, you'll see pipe bands, you'll see flute bands, you'll see brass bands in Fermanagh as well, silver bands.
How much more enjoyable is it for a community to come out when it's as pleasant as this?
Well, I mean, it's not actually bad weather to walk in either, but you've got to, with carrying the instruments, if it gets really, really warm, I feel sorry. If you've got a long walk,
Absolutely.
playing the accordion, it's worse if you have a lambeg, Darrell.
Oh, well, absolutely. Well, we're just seeing the kind of the procession snaking through those narrow streets, making its way at a leisurely pace towards the field.
A very pedestrian constabulary walk there, gait, you could say.
Oh, that's a fantastic scene there, isn't it?
It is, and this is Pettigo.
Yeah.
Pettigo District 10.
Just across the border
Just across
again.
the border. Another interesting thing being that Pettigo, whenever this district was formed, was the centre of the district. Of course, now it's a County Donegal town in a County Fermanagh district.
Yeah, well, our cameras are really capturing a flavour of the numbers of people that are involved, and of course the colour.
Exactly, yes.
And all kinds of music being played here. The accordions, of course, pride of place.
Yes, and I think we see Billy Hill there coming through from County Cavan. The accordion is a very, very popular instrument in Fermanagh.
And an awful lot of practice and time given over in the winter and in the spring so that they can be pitch perfect here.
This is it. I mean, you kind of forget how much rehearsal goes into these bands and the music. They work very, very hard. And a lot of the band members are so young as well, and they're so keen, which is lovely to see.
And I think that it's possibly used in a way as well for bonding, to pull communities together.
Very much so. In this modern age where there are so many diversions in your time, it's nice to see that actually learning an instrument is so productive.
I think it's lovely the way, and particularly in this procession, that the public are quite happy to walk in between, just escort the bands down
Yes.
the road. It's a very informal feeling, isn't it?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Darrell. Informal. There are some parades where you'd see where it's extremely...